Hello, Miss Denise. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
Good. I don't know if you knew that my younger sister, 6 years younger than the youngest of us, uh, her name is Denise.
Oh, okay.
And that was the first one to greet Erik when he transitioned.
Wow.
So that's kind of, I don't know why I
Nice.
put that up. Anyway, so this is part 2 of oh my God.
Bless you.
Talking, I need all the help I can get. Talking to, or at least discovering something from the higher self of Elon Musk. And the community has really been raving, love the first part, they need the second.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be a pretty short thing here.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Erik. I love you.
He says, hi, mama. He goes, I love you. And the way he exaggerates the mama, he does like that.
I know
Yeah.
all the time. When he really wanted something, he would always call me mommy, mommy. Even when he was like, 19 years old. All right. In an interview with Adrian, the tall white alien, I don't remember this, he was asked if Elon is an alien and what kind. And Adrian did not want to share that information. Why? And is it possible to have that answer now? I remember that. I remember we had that interview with Adrian, the tall white, and you guys need to look in the CE YouTube channel and find out.
Eric's is telling me the reason that tall white, that ET, whatever you want to call it, isn't.
Oh my God, I forgot to put it on mute. Oh my God, sorry. Okay, that's my husband. Go ahead. Sorry.
He says the reason, he says not everything needs to be divulged.
Yeah.
And he says, he's saying there's some things that need to be kept quiet. That doesn't mean that it's bad or whatever. It's just that it's not for everyone's ears right yet.
Okay. In other words, he is an alien.
Well, he's definitely a different, Erik says he's a different species from most of us.
Yeah. So he's probably, is he a starseed?
Erik says no, he's not a starseed.
Is he an alien hybrid?
Erik's doing this, so yes, he is.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, someone said that that Elon, you must be a reptilian. I'm not getting that though. What do you think, Erik? Or how?
Well, Erik says, when people think of reptilians, they think of the bad one, and
yeah, but they're not all bad. You're right.
Correct. That's what he's saying. They're
right.
Not all bad. There's a lot of really good ones, but is he a reptilian? Erik says no, he is not a reptilian. He says no, he isn't.
Well, what kind of alien race is he hybridized with?
Erik is showing me, because when you ask that, Erik is showing me it has something to do with water. Some ET with a form of that, basically from water.
Well, I know there are some that are like related to dolphins and stuff like that, but
yeah, no, I don't get that from Erik's. Like, no.
Well,
but he says it's something to do with water, and when he says that, I'm telling Erik, and I said, well, that was our first form, was water. So how is that, and he just says there's so many other species out there that we're not aware of. And he says, but he comes here in good faith. Erik's not telling me what kind though. He's not showing.
Well, maybe is it something, a race we don't know about yet? Maybe, is that it? Or we do know about?
Erik says we're just starting to tap into that. It's like they're allowing us to have that information.
Okay.
So yes, we're just starting to tap into that.
All right. Can you tell this constellation it's part of, Erik? Or not?
He's not giving me that. he's not giving me that.
Probably something we don't know. All right. What, Elon, is your opinion about the elite? I guess the global elite is what it's talking about. These are all from the community.
You know, what I'm getting from his higher self with Erik helping to translate it for me is that, you know, what we call the elite or whatever wasn't always what we call bad, no good, negative, or all those type of words. It wasn't always that way. It's like something fell short within that group, you know, and that's what started what was going on with that. He, you know, he says there were some good points to that group before it became what we want to label it as the elite, or some other names that we call it. But he says there's going to be a shift in that. There's going to be a shift.
Can you tell me more?
You know, eventually when things keep going up, things have to come down. And
so
that's all.
The ascent to power through greed and corruption on the parts of the global elite that are not so nice, they're going to come down. Is that what you're saying?
He said, he's saying yes, because it just he's showing me it's with everything that goes up has to come down.
Are you the he, is that Erik or is it Elon?
Elon.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
Everything that goes up has to come down. And when it's going up in a direction that's not meant to stand in that, you know, like if we keep going in a direction where we're not supposed to be, eventually it's like we reach the top of it and then it has to come down.
Okay. It's like a roller coaster.
Well, he's showing me more like a rocket. It, like, you know, it goes up to a certain way. And then yeah, that's what he's showing me, is a rocket.
All right. Does Elon Musk work? Do you hire yourself work with the deep state, or do you work against it, or not at all?
He's only saying there's some interaction.
Okay.
And I feel like the way he says that is because everything is woven into that.
Yeah.
So there has to be some interaction. And Erik says, you know, you always want to keep your enemies in a short distance.
Yeah. Enemies close. Yeah. Friends close, enemies closer.
Yeah.
So he's probably just interacting with the deep state in a way that honors his agenda, if any, or etc., including good ones. Is that what he's saying?
Yes, you know, he says yes, you know, it is for that. But Erik says, you know, you have to remember too, you know, he also has an ego because he's human. So you know, things can go like this. He's showing me, you know, there's a lot of excitement and stuff working with them in that, because Erik is saying it feeds our own ego of what we think is power, and look at me and everybody knows who I am, and that kind of stuff.
Who I'm hobnobbing with, etc.
Yes, and look what I can get, look what I'm not getting. And you know, so Erik says, you know, he does have humanness to him as well. And the way Erik says that, I feel like parts of that is being worked on also.
Someone wants to know, will you help the world to stay in peace? I know you've done a lot by just spreading information to the Ukrainians, etc. But yeah, all in all, is that one thing you will do or try to do?
You know, he tells me what he's trying to do is what he's showing me what he's trying to do is educate people because he can't do it. One person can't do it. And
Yeah.
he says, and that's the downfall that we have, that we put all of our eggs into one basket. We put all of our faith into one person.
Yeah.
And he says, this is a global thing. This isn't just a me thing. And he says, so what he's trying to do is educate, inform people so that they can also start being a part of the solution.
Okay. Excellent. Elon, are you developing technology to enable us to travel to the lands beyond the matrix? I'm not sure what that is, but maybe you know.
Well, he says it's already been done.
Oh.
So it's almost like he's uncrating. That's what he gives me the impression, like he's uncrating, like it's been put in crates, that information.
Okay.
And like he's uncrating that and now doing stuff with that. But and Erik says, Mom, he says, he's also has a human side to him. So some of this stuff is like, wow, or it's not like wow to like it would be for me seeing this stuff, but for him, it's like it connects the links to things that he already knows.
Oh, interesting. Elon, have you gotten your hands on any ET technology?
He's not answering, but Erik says there's been conversations.
Has Elon conversed with aliens, or just people who have connection with aliens, or none of the above?
Erik is telling me that there's been conversations, and I feel like it's not just one thing. Like Erik says, like he's been introduced, he's been talked about, because he's always had a curiosity with this kind of stuff. He's always known that there's stuff out there other than us.
Yeah.
So there's always been that curiosity. And he says he's a very brilliant man. And so I just feel like there's been conversations. Erik is telling me there's been conversations. So has he been introduced? I just feel I want to say yes. I'm not getting a yes or a no, but I feel like there's been interaction.
Some sort of interaction, whether it's direct or indirect. I understand.
Yeah.
Does Elon Musk and President Zelensky, do they have a past life connection, soul contracts for this lifetime?
Erik says definitely previous lives. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more information about the one that seems to be most influential?
His higher self is telling me there was a time, I feel like it was 1,000+ years ago or something.
Wow.
Where there was a lot of interaction, and I want to say ET interactions, a lot of communication. There was never this hush hush stuff that was going on per se.
Right.
And I feel like they have a previous lifetime because they communicated together, and they weren't like brothers or sisters or parents together or anything like that, but it's like they were in a same what would you call it, Erik? It's like they were on the same team or whatever.
Okay.
And they interacted and stuff. And I feel like it also had to do with how Erik is showing me, it like had to do with something with space. So there was galactic stuff going on with their, like, I want to say like a battle in galactic stuff.
Wow.
where they work together and stuff like that. A lot of communication, Erik is
Well, maybe that's what's happening here. Zelensky is a soldier essentially for the freedom of Ukraine, and Elon Musk is helping with communication, etc. the public. So it almost sounds like it's similar, that it's along the same lines as the battle they were in.
Says Eric says yes, because they help each other. They help each other. It's like what you can't do, I will help you, and vice versa, and stuff like that, you know, at a time of need. Yeah.
Yeah. The person also asks, is there a possibility for them to cooperate for a cooperation that would serve people's highest and greatest good more than what they've done?
Yes. What he's telling me, and Eric is helping me, is that there's a purpose in what's going on with all of this.
Okay.
There's a purpose for this, you know. It looks like it's just one thing, but there's another purpose behind all of this, and it's, you know, we're going to see more expansion, is what he's only showing me.
Okay. Awesome. Now, next question. Why does Biden never mention you and your company as the leader in the electric vehicles industry? I didn't know
He
that.
kind of laughs and he says, because do they not like care for each other or something?
I don't know. I try not to watch the news anymore.
So I just feel like it's a battle of the powers or something, you know,
Okay.
and intimidation. Like, I don't know, because, you know, when people get really up there with money and stuff,
Yeah.
people get intimidated by it. But it's the way he says it, it's almost like doesn't want to give too much recognition to something that already has a lot of recognition, you know.
Okay.
So if he
Oh, okay. But you're talking about Biden.
yes, so if Biden looks at Elon and says, oh, you're this and that, then he just doesn't want to expand that anymore. Eric's saying he doesn't want to
Why?
expand. Because it's not on his agenda to do that.
Oh, okay.
Eric, that's all he's saying.
All right. Elon, will you succeed in positively transforming Twitter and turning it into a platform of free speech? First of all, there's a question as to whether you'll ever purchase it. So, you know, talk about that first, and then we'll talk about whether you're going to transform it to become a platform for free speech.
This is what his higher self said. If that doesn't go through, there will be another platform.
Okay. So if it does go through, let's talk about that. I'm going to look up something for this next question too.
Okay, so if it does go through, he said yes, it is about free speech, but I also feel like, even though it is free speech, I also feel like there's still going to be something watching it. Like there's going to still be a guard on it, you know, like somebody overseeing it just to make sure some things aren't put on there.
Oh, okay.
So it's not going to be 100% free.
Do you think you'll end up purchasing Twitter?
It's in the middle of a power struggle thing, because it has nothing to do with finances.
Okay. All right. Does Elon have any plans to use Neuralink, which is, I think it's just was looking it up, connecting humans to computers, basically. And well, let me read the whole thing. Does Elon have any plans to use Neuralink and Starlink to create an always online global hive mind of man and AI? Of man and AI, I think they're saying.
Yeah, Eric says a combination of both.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what Eric is telling me.
It's operated by SpaceX. Starlink is a satellite internet constellation operated by SpaceX, providing satellite internet access coverage to 33 countries. It aims for global coverage. Started using it in 2019. So but Neuralink is like brain of human to brain of computer, or AI, that sort of human to AI connection.
Um, t- what the question is because he's telling me, the higher self is telling me, not in the direction of how that person wrote the question or what they mean
Okay.
behind the question.
Okay.
It's not like that. I just feel like it's going to be, when we do something of that sort or whatever down the road, he says, it's going to be for higher evolving and
For the
doing stuff.
highest and greatest good of the collective.
Yes, it's
Okay.
going to be for a good thing, and it's going to be on a it's almost like you're going to have a contract or something, like with all the stuff written out on it, so you're aware of what you're doing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
not like we're going to just take people and hook them up to that and do it. So it's going to be something that's I feel like very right now heavily regulated when it does go into
Well, what purpose does it have? Neuralink, for example.
What he's telling me is, and I have absolutely no idea what all
I
this
don't
is
know.
about. I have none. What it does is it helps to expand in us what we innately already know.
Well, so it's for our benefit that computers can help our brains evolve.
Well, just help, yes, to help to like bring more in our awareness field, I guess. It's to bring in how is he putting it? It's like, yes, the brain, but it opens it up to what we already innately innate of us, to know.
So basically hooking up to consciousness, not necessarily the physical brain.
Yes. And for some reason also, I feel like this has a big impact on aging. The way he makes me feel, there has something to do with aging.
Oh. So it can forestall aging? Sign me up.
Well, where we'll continue to age, but we don't get old.
Okay.
Does that
In the
make sense?
brain?
Yes.
Okay.
In our brain, in the brain, which also operates everything, because it will open up, and what it does is it expands on what we innately already know, our awareness of things. So we will want to do things different, which will benefit our body as well, and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. How long until we're using a form of Bitcoin? I thought we already did. Should we begin getting our feet wet by figuring out how to obtain some digital currency? I don't know. I think we already are, but just tell me, Elon, what do you think about digital currencies and the future of digital currency?
He kind of laughs, and I think because I just happened to look on my digital, online bank, and they had on there Bitcoin, Bitcash, and some other currencies, how they've all just gone down, and not by a whole lot. I guess not by a whole lot. I don't know. But he said there is going to be, a big shift in our currency on how we do it, because, and this is his higher self telling me, and I feel like Erik is right there with him because he's got my back, but there's control over having one currency.
Oh,
it's a control.
By whom? The elite, the oligarchs?
Yeah. So, when you have different currencies and stuff, it takes away that grip on it,
Yeah.
And then, some person can brag and say they got 100 million in Bitcoin, and then the other person can say, well, I got 100 million this other currency, so it like diffuses that control is what I hear. And he also is saying it's less risky than our paper money. And I don't know if it's, I guess maybe for laundering. I don't know. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
Does Elon know of the space ark buried in the Ukraine? And is this the reason why the U.S. and the Ukraine are battling Putin for possession of it? And like maybe the war is a cover up. Never heard of the space ark.
What I'm being told is that there is a very
What is
large portal over there.
Oh, is it a portal that does what?
For good.
Is it for traveling somewhere? Like to the stars or?
Yes, you can go to different dimensions is what they're showing.
Dimensions.
Mhm.
And
So there's a
constellation, just dimensions.
dimensions. You can go pretty far. Like Erik says, there's no end to it.
Oh yeah.
So there is something like that over there, and people involved know about it.
Oh. Well, is this why Putin invaded?
I'm hearing, and I can't even tell if it's from Erik or the higher self,
Right.
part of it.
Oh, really? So what's the value in this space ark? I mean, is it a physical ark or is it just a portal, like an energy portal?
There's I say they because it's Erik and him are both telling me there are things over there that they know that's there, and they just know. That's all they're telling me. They just know.
Okay.
They're not even going on to elaborate. They just say they know.
All right. But it has some value, obviously.
It has some big value, not so much as dollar value, but it has some big value on this, our existence, about for humanity on this planet. It has a lot. And I feel like there's secrets, like not that it's like, not that what over there is a secret per se, but it's been kept a secret.
Interesting. Is it created by E.T.?
Oh yes, definitely. We say ET because that's what we know, but
we're all aliens.
But his higher self is telling me that's where the what do you call it? How we've been taught that we come from, a religious belief or whatever, but now we're knowing, no, we come from something, of course there's prime source, whatever you want to call it, but yes, it is definitely from that, and that's gonna shake a lot more people up.
All right, so was this something like a spaceship that crashed in the Ukraine, or was it purposely built or created
purposely put there?
Oh, okay, interesting. Why did the ETs want to do that?
It's a portal.
Okay. Now, Elon, so about this space ark. Are you going to do anything about it? Are you going to try to find it, buy it? I don't know.
Well, the higher self tells me Elon himself doesn't actually know what's there, but they do know that there's some value over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Why did you recently tweet, "If I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing ya"? Have you actually received any threats from one?
Oh, hell yes. Oh, hell yes.
Why against free speech? I mean, that's America, man. First Amendment, I don't understand.
Oh, hell yeah. He says he's received a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so that's why you said that. Have you been under serious threat at all?
Erik says you take those serious.
Okay. Yeah.
Some of them are more have more weight to them than others, but you do take those.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a team that looks through those things and stuff, that who are, educated in that field. They know how to do that, work in that, spot those things.
Okay. Now, the next few questions are all about other lives you may have had, Elon. Were there any lifetimes of the past where you were not well known or about, or you were extremely poor? If so, are you happier this go around? I would be. Have you ever been poor in another life?
Oh, definitely, he says. Oh,
We all have.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, definitely. He says, you don't just come into lightness and then say, I'm going to be rich every single
Yeah.
incarnation. Um, he's showing me how he has experienced some horrific lives
Oh,
and stuff, and then some good lives, happy lives, wonderful lives. Not all happy lives were because he had billions and
yeah.
stuff, but this one is about, he says, face it, and this, where we are right now, you need to have billions to be able to make where with what he's doing. He says you have to have that kind of a cash to make an impact. He says, because people listen to you when they see your
Well, you
bank.
have money. Yeah.
When you have a nice bankroll, people listen to you.
Nowadays, that's true. In
Yeah.
the past, it didn't have to be that way.
No,
So,
but now in these current states, this
yeah.
is, he said, he goes, 20 years ago, people really, I wasn't in the news like I am now.
Yeah. Okay. Can you talk about another life? Maybe one that was made a huge impact on you?
Um, he's showing me, he lived, I'm trying to get an idea of where it is that he lived, but it's somewhere where water was real scarce.
Oh,
And so he says a drought, there was droughts and stuff. So that's why the water was scarce. I can't even, I'm trying to see
desert
where
or something, maybe. Yeah.
it's something like that, but yet but it's just like in a certain area. Of course, it obviously wasn't in the US and it wasn't in Europe or whatever. But he said, he could feel the earth. He could feel, and he was able to, he was known for being able to find water.
Oh, wow.
And didn't he say, Eric just say earlier, or him, that he has
From a
something to do
water
with
plant.
water? Yes,
Yes. Interesting.
that is.
Very. So you got that knowledge subconsciously, perhaps, on how to discover water from that galactic life.
Yes, and that's fascinating because, he says, and, it's because you're trained, you're educated, you're taught how
Yeah.
to tune into yourself.
Yeah. But
And
you
you
could
do.
tune into the earth and find
Yes. And he also tells me one life that was very, very wonderful life he really enjoyed a lot was, he's telling me he was an Aborigine.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, a long time ago he was an Aborigine, like one
Very
before
cool.
they started doing stuff. But yeah.
Okay. Are any of your current family members from did they share a lot? Have you shared lives with them?
Oh, yes, he said yes.
Okay. That's true of all of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not all at the same time, but there's, yes,
Yeah, of
definitely,
course. Right.
definitely.
What is one secret we don't know about you, Elon, that you're able to share?
He's showing me he likes to suck on hard candy.
Okay. Interesting. That's cute.
And I want to say it feels like a lemon drop of something like that.
Oh, okay.
Like a lemon, yeah.
Hope you have a good dentist.
I know.
You can afford it. I'm kidding. Any final piece of advice that you can give to those listening right now?
He's saying this is like some of the best times to be here. And he says, really he's saying this is about going inward. So you read a lot of information, as a lot of the questions came from people doing research and stuff. And he says, and that is really good because you're expanding your own awareness and he says, this is great times because we can travel through the web without leaving our place.
True.
And we can get more educated, more awareness about everything. He says, but with that information, make sure you spend some time alone to process it.
Yeah.
And see how all of that
is it true or not, for example.
Yeah, see how that fits within your body.
Yeah, right.
He says, you don't just digest everything and take it in as this is truth or this is false.
Yeah.
And he
I
says,
know when an absolute truth is, it feels different in my body. And I think
yes,
most people could do that.
he said, yes. And we've always been able to do that, but it's like we've had layers put on us to where we didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's happening is we're becoming aware that we can we have this awareness, like we know that there's more than just this going on.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, higher self of Elon Musk. Thank you, Denise, Ramon. Thank you, my lovely Eric. You guys check Denise out, deniseramon.com. And it was an honor interviewing you, Mr. Musk. And thank you for all that you have contributed to our society. I really appreciate it.
He says, he goes like this. He says, thank you. He says, it's an honor. And he has his arm around Erik and says, it's an honor to be in this presence.
Oh, it's so sweet.
I know.
All right, you guys,
and he
share.
thanks you.
So thank you. Share and subscribe and hit the notification button.